Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to DIY Crafts. So last week we made paper flowers with coffee filters and construction paper and tissue paper, and I promised that I would show you guys how to make a rose with ribbon, and I totally forgot. So before I start this episode, I'm gonna finish up last episode by showing you quickly just how to make a ribbon rose. So you'll need some type of ribbon. Silky ribbon works the best. And all you're going to do is you're going to cut off pieces, starting small and working your way bigger and bigger until you get to the end. So I'm going to cut maybe like 1.5 inch strip here, much like this. And then all you're going to do is you're going to fold to the bottom here, so it's nice and flush. Sorry, camera's over here. And then you are going to be wild and crazy and dangerous. Hold that thought, don't move. Helps when you have all of your supplies first. Okay, and then all you're gonna do is you're gonna take a lighter and you're just gonna fray the ends real quick, and that's gonna melt it. And what that does is it makes it stick together. If you are not a fan of fire, you can just glue it together. That works fine. But what that does is it glues that together there. And then you'll do the same thing to the other side. Need mine a little bit bigger than necessary, but basically you'll glue it, fold it, burn it, squish it, and what you end up having is something that looks like this. And you're just going to keep wrapping that around this right here with this part as your outside. So I have a helper. Hi, Milk. So this is what's going to end up happening. Is you're going to end up getting a nice rose shape. So if you want this to work, all you have to do is, again, just burn it a little bit or glue it, your choice, and then it adheres. And then you'll burn the other side right here, and it adheres. And what's going to end up happening is you're going to end up getting a nice natural rose shape the more layers you add here. All I did was string a bead with wire and run it through and then fold it down, and then I just started burning the ribbon, folding it, burning, folding, burning, folding, and you're just going to keep doing this around and around and around until you get that gorgeous rose shape. Okay, so that's just continuation of what happened the last week. I'll show you guys one more time. So just going to cut a strand. It doesn't have to be too long, and all you're going to do is you're going to fold it down so that it's nice and even with the bottom of your ribbon. And you're gonna burn the bottom and then just squish it. It's kind of like working with a hot glue gun. Burns really shortly and then it's gone. And then the same thing, you'll fold down the other side. And I'm just gonna trim this one just to show you guys. So you can fold it down and then just trim it so it's flush with the bottom here. I apparently have a helper today. I'm not sure if she's actually helping though or making it worse. So then it looks like this. And then again, you're just gonna put this part on the outside here, and you're gonna wrap this around your rose. And you'll take the edge, you'll burn it, squish it, and then do the same thing to this one. And if it doesn't attach right away, just burn it again and squish it down. And if you're not a fan of how it attaches like this, you're welcome to just use glue. And you're just going to keep going around and around and around until you get that beautiful shape of a rose. So that's what it ends up looking like. The more you add, the cooler it's going to look too. but it's very pretty. It's a silk rose, silk ribbon, super pretty, super easy to make. All right, so moving on to today's craft. Sorry, little miss, but you got to go. So today's craft is paper quilling. So there is some really cool things you can do with paper quilling. And paper quilling is just twirling paper, strips of paper. Strips of paper can be anywhere between, you don't want it too big. You can do it like an inch, you can do it 1/2 inch, but you're almost better off doing like 1/4 inch or a little less than that. And you can actually buy strips of paper already cut, or you can use your own paper cutter to strip them yourselves. I cheated. I bought this paper already cut, and it comes in this beautiful rainbow pack, and it's glued together at the bottom, so you just gotta peel strips off and use them at your own leisure. You do have to cut them according to size, but it's kind of just, you have fun with it. So this is a flower of some sort. So again, last week I showed you guys how to roll flowers and make paper flowers out of various things such as tissue paper and coffee filters. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make these gorgeous flowers. And this is just a paper quilled flower. And if you put it on a, up against something, what a lot of people like to do is they'll make cards with these. And so if you're going to make a fancy card for a family member, this would be your centerpiece or your accent piece. What you can also do with them is you can decorate picture frames with them. You can decorate mirrors with them. But today I'm going to show you guys how to make earrings. But for the men out there that don't wear earrings, you can make something for your sweetheart if you want, or decorate a picture frame, or decorate just wall accents. This is like, the possibilities with this is absolutely endless. So today I'm going to show you guys how to make this really cute little daisy. Let's get a look at that. So what you're going to want to do, you are going to want to strip a bunch of paper to probably 1/4 inch, or you can buy the pack of paper online at Amazon or your local craft store. And you're going to want some kind of adhesive. For me, I'm using a glue stick, but what a lot of people do is they'll use just regular school glue, which works absolutely great, works wonderful. You're going to need either a needle with an 1/8 inch slot or a 1/4 inch slot, depending on how thick or how wide your paper is. But for me, because I do not do very much needlework and I don't have a needle handy, I just use a paper clip. And all I do is I unfold the paper clip, and this is what I use to adhere the glue and to start rolling. So the thing with quilling is it's a lot of rolling, and you're either rolling or twisting or some combination of the both. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna start off with some yellow. So I'm gonna take a strip of yellow right here, and I don't want this whole strip, but I want maybe like 3 inches, 4 inches, depending on how large you want your initial center to be. And what your center is going to be is how big the rest of your flower is going to be. So I'm going to go for a 3 to 4 inch strip. By all means, if you want bigger, go bigger. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the very tip of my paper clip. I'm going to wrap this around right here. And I'm just going to start rolling. And for me, my paper clip's going to turn because I have dried glue on it, which actually for me helps because it makes it tacky. And once you get it rolled a bit, you can go ahead and take it off your paper clip or leave it on, whatever your preference is. And you're just going to keep rolling it. Now, ladies, if you have long fingernails, you might not need the paper clip at all. You might just be able to go on and roll it. See, and then I start to get a nice little curly cue going on here. Now, if your circle is not as tight as you want it to be, by all means, pull it out, tighten it up, and roll it again. You can roll it as many times as you want. And so I'm going to go ahead and roll it all the way. And then what I'm left with is this little tiny circle. So I want to make this bigger because, as you can see, it's a little bit bigger than the one here. So So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to loosen my fingers a little bit and let it roll out a little. And see how just like that it gets a little bit bigger? And I have this really cute spiral. Sorry guys, this is not like the best camera to do this with. Alright, so once you have your spiral to your liking, you're going to pop your glue. Whether you're using a glue stick or white glue, whichever. And I'm just going to put a very little on the end and roll it on up. And once you're done, she looks like this. Really cute, really tiny, really little. Now, if you're going for a matching set, you ideally do want to make sure that it's the same size or close to the same size as the one you have already done. So all I do is I put it up to the center here, and I make sure that the yellow and the yellow are exactly the same size. So I'm going to leave this here so you guys can see it. Maybe not. Okay. So from here, I'm going to leave this on my paper right there, and I'm going to start making the petals. So for the petals, I'm going to take white, and these strips come already pre-done in about 12 inches. I don't want the whole 12 inches. I only want about a quarter of this, so I'm going to fold it in half. And I'm going to fold it in half again. And I need 5 petals. So there we go. And then I'm going to take scissors, woo, and just cut here. I just want to let you all know that my cat is right here just grilling this whole time. She just wants to know what's going on with this paper. For those of you who missed her, serious curiosity killed the cat. Alright, so once you have several strips of paper, again, well, 3 to 4 inches, give or take. Once again, you're going to take your paper clip or your needle, either one, whichever one you have, and you're just going to roll this around. And once you get started, just keep rolling it. Now, depending on your outcome, you either want to roll really, really tight or you want to roll relatively loose. So for me, I want relatively small petals, and then I'm going to loosen it up a little bit. And there's my circle here. But what I want is I want the center to be down here. So I'm going to take my paper clip. I'm going to put it in the center hole right here. And I'm going to squish it all the way over here. So see how you can move your center hole one way or another? And make it all the way down here. I'm going to squish the end. And what squishing the end does is it gives it a petal look. But before I can show you guys, I gotta glue it, otherwise you won't be able to see it. So I'm gonna glue that little end again. Squish it. And then just like that, I have a petal. Okay? So then you're gonna repeat this 4 more times. And I'll show you guys, if you glue just the very edge, the tip of it here, where you're gonna attach to the center of your flower, so you can already see that it's starting to look like a flower here. Alright, so you gotta do this 4 more times. I know the torture. So we're gonna go ahead, attach it to our paper clip, start rolling it, pull that out. And again, whichever is easier for you. If you want to leave it on the paper clip, go ahead. If not, take it on off. Roll it all the way. There are a bunch of techniques for paper quilling, but today we're just going to focus on this rolled up version. I'm going to put my paper clip in the center, move my hole down to the end, and then just squish it here. And again, that gives me my little petal look. So let's glue it. And I put a little glue on the end here. And then you're just going to attach it to the end. So what a lot of people do is, again, they'll do this for like cards and stuff. So they'll actually adhere or start adhering their design to a piece of paper like this. And that'll be the start of their design. So we're gonna keep on going here. Again, just start rolling. And once again, you can either leave it on the paper clip or take it off. I find that I roll a lot faster with it off, so I take it off the paper clip, roll until I get to the very end, and then loosen it up a bit. And then once again, I put that paper clip in and I relocate the center here. I want the center to be at the beginning. And then you pull that paper clip out. So each strip for me only gives me 4 petals, but I need 5 petals. So before I go ahead and get too far along here, I do want to make sure that I cut another strip of white that's pretty much the same size as the other ones that I've been using. Otherwise, we're gonna have some problems. So let me just put this on. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So we're getting there. Starting to look like a daisy. So I have this strip, this is my last strip, but I need one more this size. So before I roll that one up, I'm going to measure it against another strip. And go ahead and cut it where that strip is. They're the same size. Woo! Alright, so again, fold this on up. Fold all the way. And if it comes loose on you, go ahead and just start from the beginning. And since you already have it starting to round, it's super easy to roll out. You can roll it out, roll it in as many times as you like. She's out. Alright, so I loosen it up a bit. I want the center to be down the end. Right there, and then I squish it. And that gives me that little petal effect. So a couple of other things that you can do is, especially if you're doing a card, you can make the shape of the card, make the shape of an outline of like a heart. So you just do a paper outline of a heart, and then you fill it in with a bunch of paper quill designs. So for instance, let me just do this. If I, instead of doing this, I could just do the outline of a flower and then fill it in with a bunch of different paper quilled designs here. So you can do the same thing with a heart. You do the outline of a heart and then you fill it in with some petals, you fill it in with some other designs. The possibilities are endless here. So I think I need a couple more petals here. Here we go. This one's a little bit smaller. So we're gonna do this. Gonna rotate here. Got one more petal to do, and then I'll show you guys how to do the leaves. Potentially. Alright, so again, paper clip comes in super handy. A needle's super handy because what you do is you actually put the end of the paper in the slot of the needle, and then that helps you roll it a lot easier. If you are really into quilling and you really enjoy it, you can buy a quilling kit which comes with the slotted needle on a handle and a bunch of other tools. If not, a paperclip works really well. What also works really well is if you have a comb. Comb makes a pretty cool design, and I can show you guys that the next time. So this is my last petal here. I'm gonna put this one right here. just need to make a couple of adjustments. But that's pretty much it. That is my daisy. And now what you want to do is you can go on in and add some accents to it, like green vines and green leaves. So that's what we're going to do now. We want to make some of those green, festive vines and stuff. So I'm going to take a patch of green. I think I might have one already cut, maybe not. Alright, so take a green piece here, and I'm going to cut in maybe about like an inch like this. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to roll this once again, but I'm not going to roll it all the way. I'm going to roll it majority of the way, but not all the way. So then it sticks out a little bit like that. Okay, see that there? And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to glue the very end once again, and I'm going to stick this in between my petals. And so you might want to roll it up a little, you might want to roll it in a little, totally up to you. And take that paper clip, and that's going to help you adhere the glue. And just like that. And you're going to do that for each individual space between the petals. So once again, I'm going to take my strip, probably do like an inch, maybe a little less. Cut this, make sure it's straight here. Take your paper clip, roll it around. Are you guys getting the trend here? It's all about paper clip and the rolling. So roll it around all the way. Need a little space at the bottom, and glue that bottom. And what I like to do is I like to do them opposite of each other if you can. So I'm going to put this one on with my paper clip to make sure that that's adhered. If you watch quilling videos, a lot of times they'll use tweezers because this is so tiny. There we go. And then you're just going to keep doing that for each one. So I'm going to do this strip here, an inch. I'm not measuring because if you've ever seen wildflowers, they're not always totally perfect. And I want mine to be a little bit off-centered. Some are a little bit longer, some a little bit shorter, to give it that all natural look going on here. So just glue the end. And here we go. Then you can roll some out a little bit longer, a little bit shorter. So I got 2 more to go here. Again, cut a strip, approximately an inch long, maybe a little bit longer. And you can roll it super tight or you can loosen it up a bit. It's totally up to you, depending on how viney you want it to look. And there we go. And the last one. So I showed you guys how to make petals. I showed you guys how to make vines. Let me show you guys a couple more things and then we'll call it a day. And that's it. That's it, that's it, that's it. We have these 2 little things here. And now if we want, we can connect them. We can connect them with a little bit of greenery. We can make some stems here. It's totally up to you. But but let me just show you guys. You do indeed want to make some stems. Put a little glue here so this will stick. Super easy. All you have to do is you can put this piece right in here, right in between, and then you can take the other piece and kind of put that right in between here. So let me show you, because I can't hold it and do it at the same time. Not that coordinated. So all I did is put it in between two strips, and then I can just glue this paper to this right here. So if you're going to do it that way, you're just going to glue the edge here, not the long way here, but just the very edge. And this is where that white glue comes in handy. And actually, it doesn't really matter if you're using that glue or this glue, it doesn't matter. Let me just put this in and I'll show you guys how it looks. Sorry. So then that would be the stem here. And then I can cut that off. And then you can get super exciting and you can add some leaves here. You can put this in here somewhere and add some leaves to this as well. So for this one, instead of just pinching one end, and instead of having the center go all the way to the end here, so see how we can move the center. It's up to you where you want it. You can have it down here, you can have it up here, have it here. But wherever you move it, it makes the design look different. So you kind of want it to be kind of consistent, same thing. And all I did is once I have the center where I wanted it, I just pinched both ends. I pinched this end, pinched the center, and then I glued all these strips together to make this kind of black-eyed Susan, if you will. All right. So if you're going to make earrings, what you're going to want to do is you're just going to end up wanting to pierce the paper somewhere. And this is where that needle actually comes in handy, or the paper clip. So if you take a look here, I made this cute little snowman from paper quilled, just paper quill. I did tight circles all the way, tight circle, a very, very tiny circle in the center for the scarf, a tight circle up here that I actually squished to make the hat, and then again a tight circle for the red sash, and then the part of the hat. And then all you're going to do is you're going to take earring jump rings and then the earring hoop and hook it through the paper. So I can show you guys that with this guy right here. I have jump rings, which are these guys right here. And what you're going to want to do is open your jump ring up, like so. And you're just going to want to pierce through the top layer of the hat. Or if you're not using a hat, you're doing the flower, you want to pierce through a layer. You could alternatively glue it. You'd probably need to do it with a hot glue gun. You could also pierce it before you put it together. Oops. Or you could squish it on, but I'm afraid that's not gonna, I'm just afraid I'm gonna end up losing it. So once you pierce it, give me a second. Trying to bring them down. Okay, so my coordination is just totally not working for me today. If you've ever come to my class, I always tend to have far too much coffee and then I get the shakes and it makes it really difficult to do these really tiny things. So I'm just trying to go through the outer layer of the paper here, the very outer layer. There we go. And then the jump ring is going to pierce the very end of the paper. When I get this through, I'm sorry guys, this is gonna work, I assure you. Okay. So I will definitely recommend that if you do this, you do this with hands that aren't super sticky. I think that's my problem right now. My hands are a little bit too sticky and the paper is sticking to my fingers along with the jump ring. But what you're gonna do, you wanna pierce the very outer layer here, and all I'm doing is putting this jump ring in the outer layer and poking it through. If, again, you had a needle, it would be a lot easier to poke a hole through in this outer layer. This paper is actually pretty strong, so. And then if you want to secure this, you can put a little bit of glue on the top to make sure that that doesn't go through here. And that's what's going to end up having to happen. So you're going to end up doing white glue here at the top. And what you end up doing is you pierce through the very top here, the jump ring, and then that is the end of it. And that is your set of earrings. You can do the same thing with this depending on how you want it to hang. You're just going to put that jump ring through one of those pieces. So it doesn't matter which one. This one worked a lot easier, a lot better. So then you have that hanging there. You're going to take another jump ring. And once you have this jump ring, you're just going to connect the two. So you want your earring hook connected to the other jump ring that you put on your creation. And just need a little bit more glue, or I needed to wait for my glue to dry. Let me fix this real quick. I do recommend, if you are indeed going to be wearing these as earrings, to seal it with some type of sealer. White glue works, especially since white glue dries clear. And then once that's the case, you have your earring. Alrighty. So there is one earring. Here is another. So check it out, man. Super cute. Or you can do this one. God, my fingers are so full of glue. And just like that, you have either flowers for spring, snowmen for snow, and if you want to get crazy, you can take that same design where you put the circle down on the end here and squish it, put the circle down on this end and squish it, and you get yourself a cute little butterfly. And then you can hang this however you see so fit. Alright, so that was today's class. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do paper quilling at home and you make a really cool card, this would be really cool as a poinsettia for the holidays in front of a card. Some red and green instead of some yellow and black. If you do that at home, let us know. Show us what you did in the comments. If not, we'll see you not next week because it's Veterans Day, but the week after. Okay? See you all next